So we're live streaming every day at midday, giving you inspiration on what to cook during the lockdown, providing a little bit of banter, hopefully, just giving you someone to talk to. Today, every day we're dedicating the live stream to something specific, and today the dedication is to everyone who has friends and family who are ill. I think most of us have got somebody who's been affected by the CVID, but also I have literally just put down an email from my brother's wife. He's just come off his bike and broken his shoulder in 2 places and 3 ribs. So he's out in Australia and in hospital there. So really, let's dedicate this to everybody who is ill, whether it's CVID or not. Today, back to food. We are going to cook a really delicious Mediterranean tray bake. I'm using this big bake. That's probably enough for 2 or 3. If you've got a larger family with you or a larger group, you might want to use a big roasting tray for this. It's literally lots and lots of delicious Mediterranean veg, and we're going to add some chicken to it. But if you're a vegetarian, absolutely fine. Just have it without the chicken. We're going to add some chickpeas to it as well. We've got some aubergines that I've already cut up and salted. If you salt aubergines, that makes them cook much more easily. They go more tender and they're very delicious. I've got a courgette, I've got some peppers here, I've got a red pepper, I've got some little padron peppers as well that I'm going to put in, mushrooms, just some bog standard baby tomatoes. I've got some leftover butternut squash from yesterday, from the risotto, and some turnips. But this is a sort of dish actually that you can use any vegetables for. Just chop them up, put them into the dish and roast with lots of lovely olive oil and maybe some spices. The spices we're going to use today are, we've got a little bit of cumin and coriander, and we've got some smoked paprika, which gives it a really lovely Spanish feel to it. Chickpeas and smoked paprika are both very, very Spanish ingredients. You've got here, I've got a sweet paprika and a hot paprika. I haven't decided what to use yet. Maybe you can let me know what you prefer. Just a little bit of an introduction. My name's Kate Percy. I am founder of Kate Percy's Real Fast Food. We're all about giving you great taste, smile on the face of friends and family, and the right type of get up and go energy. So it's all about food that is going to give you fantastic energy, to give you the ability to do whatever you want to do at 100%. So whether you're riding your bike, whether you're running, whether you're working, whether you've got to really, really try and focus in this work from home environment. This food is going to give you the right type of energy. Today's recipe is really high in fibre. It's got slow burning carbohydrate in it. It's got lots of minerals, loads and loads of minerals and vitamins in it. Definitely one of your 5 a day. And because there are lots of different colours, you're going to get your rainbow veg in there as well. We've got some healthy fats in there because we're using olive oil. We've got protein from the chicken. It's basically a really good balanced dish. If you are suffering from a lack of ingredients, you could make this with root veg, you could make this with potatoes. Oh, I forgot, we've got a sweet potato here as well. You can make it with sweet potatoes, normal potatoes, turnip swede, butternut squash. You don't really have to use the Mediterranean veg that I'm using, but I think it tastes really good with the peppers and aubergines and courgette combination. So let's see, have we got, I'm just going to dial in so that we are there. Mark Hazeldine. Hello Mark, how are you? Have you been running this morning? Are you still running? Would be good to hear. Anybody who doesn't know me, I'm just going to grab this. I'm the author of these books, so Go Faster Food and Go Faster Food for Your Active Family. We've also on our website got these amazing healthy eating resources that you can download for free. The books are available on the website as well. And also got our first food product, which are these Kate Percy's Go Bites, which are little energy balls. They're little packs, under 100 calories, high in fibre, really, really tasty. We're doing a discount code at the moment for the books and Go Bites, which is, we'll put it on the comments, but the discount code is ENERJOY10. Everything that we do is based on our mission, which we call our 5 by 2025. So that is that every young person, by the time they leave home, should be able to cook 5 simple recipes. Have 5 recipes under their belt that will keep them, that will fuel them correctly for their future lives. So it's just a kind of an idea that that we'd like you to spread out into the communities. We've got a penny a pack, goes to the Youth Sport Trust, 50p a book, and they are helping. So the Youth Sport Trust is a charity which delivers best-in-class sport basically into schools all around the country, and they are helping us deliver on our 5 by 25 initiative. So back to cooking. So we have got, I'm just going to pop that over there. Right, great. So we've got our aubergines today. We've got Joe, oh, we've got the sound on here. Let's turn it off. Just a sec. So we've got, don't want the sound. How come we've never had sound before? Let me just turn this off, if I can. Here we are. I've got the sound coming off. Do you know what? I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. So I'm just going to turn this. I'm back. I'm going to give it to Mark, and he's going to sort it out, which is always good. Mark is our tech guy. So I saw that Joe Collingwood was there. Nice to see you, Joe. How's it going? Are you in lockdown in London? Is it? Are you with your family? How's it going? I'd love to hear. Sarah, morning Kate and team, looking forward to this one. My tummy's rumbling already. Well, I better get cooking, haven't I? So, we've got aubergine, which I have been soaking, well, I've sprinkled salt over it, and that's been sitting there for about half an hour. So it's nice, and it basically helps tenderise the aubergine before you cook it. Just going to grab a piece of kitchen towel. So here we go. I'm going to wipe the aubergine dry, and then pop that into. Oh, all the tech is up and running now. Fantastic. Ben and I are going to be making some recipes later with the kids. We'll share some pics. Excellent, that'd be really good. If you could share your pics with us, that would be amazing. We've had some fantastic comments coming back. One made me laugh actually. It was, hey Kate, fantastic to see that you're doing this in a normal kitchen. Yep, this is a lovely kitchen to work in. It's not big, but it's got everything you need, and it's nice and cosy. So I'm going to put the aubergine. I've already put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of the pan. I'm going to pop the aubergine in. I'm going to use I think one courgette as well. So with the courgette, you can chop the vegetables whatever size you want really, but because I'm cooking chicken, I'm basically going to, if I bring this over here, I'm going to layer the vegetables and then put the chicken on top. So the chicken's going to take about 40 minutes to cook. So I'm not going to make the vegetables too small, otherwise they'll just go into a mush. So I'm going to actually have the courgettes in some nice big chunks like this. Pop them in as well. you find out that you've actually got quite a lot of veg, but they then sort of shrink down. I've got some really nice padron peppers that I'm literally just going to put in whole, not even going to bother taking the stems off. If you haven't come across padron peppers before, they are great. They when you have them in Spain, it's a bit like Russian roulette. So you can just fry them up with a little bit of salt and olive oil, and some of them are hot and some of them are sweet. So it's what's it going to be? Usually the ones that you buy in the UK tend to all be sweet. You don't get a hot one very often. So I'm going to pop them in there. Got a nice big red pepper here as well, which I'm going to cut again into chunks, because if I cut them too small, the pepper will just disintegrate. So I've got a nice big red pepper. This is lovely. I bought these vegetables from my local veg shop. If you go into Sainsbury's or wherever, you find there's actually not very much veg there, but the local veg shop has got literally everything. And I was the only person there this morning, so I think they need our business. I'm going to put in a turnip because I love the taste of turnips. They add a real depth to the dish. You don't find them all that often, and they're so very, very cheap. So I'm going to cut this turnip up into like apple size pieces, which is nice. Let's just have a look at the comments that we're getting. Oh, lovely. Joe, we're doing good. Lockdown, but everyone well. That's really good. Good to hear it. Hi Kate, still enjoying the Anzac biscuits from earlier in the week. I love Anzac biscuits. In fact, I just talked about my brother who's come off his bike. He lives in Australia, and he is actually Anzac biscuit king. I cannot match his quite, but I think it's probably because he puts loads of extra butter and all the things that you're not meant to have in it. I've got the leftover butternut squash here from yesterday's risotto, so I'm just going to chop that into. I just cut the end off here. Chop that up as well. As you can see, the colours that are going in are just really vibrant, really vibrant. If you wanted, you could maybe add some olives as well to the dish. That might be quite nice. So we've got butternut squash, we've got turnip, we've got the little padron peppers, we've got red peppers, we've got aubergine, and we've got courgettes. I've got some mushrooms here as well. I'm going to pop a couple of mushrooms as well in, and some shallots and garlic, and then it would be ready for the oven. What I'm going to do is we're going to roast it. It takes about 40-45 minutes to cook, so I'm going to roast it, and then I'll post the picture on the feed afterwards. So we're going to pop the mushrooms in. I'm going to put the tomatoes in. I think I'll put them in now, but just because it's the live feed. But normally I would put the tomatoes in maybe quarter of an hour before it's ready, because otherwise they'll just really just go down into a pulp. We don't really want that. So what have we got here? Ben, due to eating some very poor excuses for ratatouille as a child, I hated aubergine until my mother-in-law cooked some amazing Arabic dishes using it. I was then converted. Yeah. Do you know what? I think aubergine is my favourite vegetable, and I really like it just sliced and then fried on a griddle, with just basted with olive oil, and then with a little bit of garlicky yogurt and pomegranate. In fact, talking about pomegranate, we're going to, when the dish is ready, we're going to put scatter it with pomegranate and basil leaves, and that just makes it taste so good. I'm also going to put some chickpeas in. Now, if you are lucky enough to be able to train, to like go out on your bike or go running, that's basically all you can do really, isn't it? In fact, a friend of mine, Mimi Anderson, is doing a hula hoop challenge. So if you want to have a look at her on Facebook, and you're into, if you've got a hula hoop, maybe you could get your girls into hula hooping. That's something that you can do in the garden, which is really fun. So I've got these lovely chickpeas. I'm going to put them into, I'm not going to use them all, so I'm just going to pop them into this pot here and then just spoon in, I think, a couple of spoonfuls. We're making a chilli tomorrow, a black bean and chorizo chilli, so do join us then, because that's going to be really lovely, and we might use some of the chickpeas, leftover chickpeas in that as well. So hello to everyone, I'm Kate. I'm live streaming every day at midday, giving you some lockdown lunch inspiration, talking about good food to eat, to feed your family, talking about our Fight by 2025, which is to get all young people cooking 5 recipes before they leave home, and start them early, start them as soon as they get interested in what's going on in the kitchen. And I think really a good idea is to just allow them to make a mess. You know, that's just playing with food. It really helps them connect with the food that they're putting in their bodies. Even if it means, you know, they decide that a pepper is a car and they will just want to drive it around the kitchen. Anything, just let them play about with food. So I'm just going to be very generous with the olive oil in this. Very, very generous. I'd say that's probably 2 to 3 tablespoonfuls. I'm going to sprinkle some cumin on top as well. Couple of, maybe that's one teaspoon of cumin. I've got some coriander here as well. Let's get a teaspoon, and I'm going to put a teaspoon of ground coriander in. And then, as I said, I'm going to put in. Shall I go for hot or sweet smoked paprika? Has anybody said? Give us what you'd like. Hot or sweet smoked paprika? What do you think? I think, what do you want, Mark? Hot or sweet? Does it say? I can't see it on here. The text going all wrong again. Hot! Okay. We've got hot then. Smoked paprika is actually quite expensive, but you don't need very much of it, and you just smell it. It just smells like you're just walking along the beach past a Spanish cafe that's just kind of sauteing up some prawns and paella. It's just so lovely. The smell is so lovely. I'm getting a bit carried away. So I'm going to put a whole teaspoon of hot paprika in there because I know Mark likes his food hot. And then I'm going to actually get my hands dirty, and I'm just going to mix that all together like so. So it's all nicely coated with the oil and the spices. Yum, 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 yum. I'm getting excited. I think we're having this for supper rather than lunch though, aren't we? Yeah. And then I'm going to lay over the chicken. So I've got 4 little chicken thighs. These ones have got the bone in. I'm going to layer them over the top. I'm actually now going to wash my hands quickly. Partly because I've touched the chicken and partly because they're covered with oil and spices. So the chicken, you don't really need to do much to the chicken. Just a little bit of salt. In fact, we'll pop some, I forgot to put the salt in the main vegetables as well. A little bit of salt and a good grinding of pepper. And then I would actually put a little bit of paprika over as well, just a little bit. And I've used chicken with the skin on, so I don't really need to put any much oil on top or anything, because it will just cook. The fat from the skin will just soak into the rest of the dish, so it'll be really nice. So that is the chicken tray bake. We're just going to put in the oven. I'd put it on quite a hot oven, 180 to 200, depending on whether you've got a fan oven or not. And that should cook for about 45 minutes. Oh, our children are going to get involved too as part of homeschooling, teaching them now how to prepare healthy meals. That is fantastic. I just cannot imagine what it must be like having children at home, having to do homeschooling with them. How do you motivate them? I mean, it must be really difficult. Luckily, the holidays are coming, I suppose, soon. And then what do you do? Bring them into the kitchen and cook lots of lovely food. There we are. While that is cooking, I'll just pop that in the oven for the moment. Okay. While that is cooking, what you want to do is prepare your pomegranate. I've got a nice little pomegranate here. Let's take the label off it. Pomegranates are a bit of a pain to prepare, but sprinkled over the tray bake when it's done, they're just so delicious. They give a real freshness to the dish. Everyone's got a different trick, in fact, to seeding a pomegranate, but my trick is just to roll it around on a board for a minute or so, and that just basically loosens the seeds from the sides. So roll that around. So I've just before, just check on the messages. Loads of people come in today. That's great. Please do share the feed with other people. If you go onto the videos side of the Facebook page as well, there's a playlist there that we've created with all the videos that we've done since we started last Monday. So go along there, have a look at the other recipes that we've made. We've done some fantastic dips. We did butternut squash risotto. We did the biscuits. We've done, we must have done 7 recipes. Can't remember what they were now, it's all a blur. How are you feeling in this lockdown? Please tell me how you're feeling. It's okay not to feel great. I feel really weird today. I have done all week. I think it's the reality is setting in that we're going to be here for quite some time in this lockdown, which is, well, it is what it is, isn't it? And we just got to get used to it. I suppose my sister-in-law texted me from America yesterday, and she said that they've been locked down for 3 weeks where she lives, and she said the strange times have become the norm now. It's just feels normal now. Certainly doesn't feel normal to me. In Bristol, you can hear the lions roaring in the zoo. I live about half a mile from the zoo, and when you walk past, you can hear the lions roaring, which is just unheard of. You never, because the traffic normally plays. The noise of the traffic plays over any of the animal noises. So there we are. We've got the pomegranate. We're just going to take. Oh, it's a nice pomegranate. Lovely. That's good because it cost me £1.45, which is quite a lot of money, isn't it? But the great thing about pomegranate is it's really, really, really good for you. It's packed with vitamin C. In fact, the Greeks used to give their soldiers pomegranate and pomegranate juice to help them with their long marches across the ancient Greeks. So they got a long way, didn't they? So it is really good for you. Packed with vitamin C and with fibre. It's got more vitamin C in it than for instance an orange. And it's really nice to just use as a little addition to dishes, I think. So scatter over things like the tray bake and on your cereal, on your porridge, really, really lovely, or yogurt, or even sort of ice cream. For instance, if your kids really like ice cream, why not just scatter a few pomegranate seeds over the top, and at least they're getting some goodness inside them as well. So there's our pomegranate. We're going to, when the chicken is done, we're going to scatter the pomegranate seeds over. I need to wash my hands again. I'm going to scatter the pomegranate seeds over the top with some torn up basil leaves, and you'll get really lovely caramelized vegetables, and the lovely crunch of the pomegranate and the freshness of the basil. Be really good. How are you getting the seeds out, Faith? Just like that. So basically, I rolled the pomegranate over and quite hard onto the board. I cut it in half, and actually, if you tap really hard, the seeds can come out. But I just kind of went into on the little compartments and just got the seeds out like that. You can actually, if you want to cheat, just buy little tubs of pomegranate seeds in the supermarket. And they're actually they usually cost about £1, so they're quite cheap, and you don't have to get your hands all dirty. But it's quite satisfying actually getting the seeds out of a pomegranate, and then you can just cover with cling film, keep it in the fridge, and just scatter over whatever you fancy. Really nice on cereal in the morning. Really nice. I've been thinking about other recipes to do for next week's Cook with Kate sessions, and I was wondering, would you like me to do some breakfasts, some more exciting breakfasts? Because you don't really want to be buying packs of cereal at this time because it's expensive, and they're just packed with rubbish, most of them. So if you'd like me to come up with some interesting ways of eating porridge, eating oats, I've got some lovely granola recipes, let me know, because I'm kind of thinking breakfast might be a good thing to do. So anyone who's just joined, I'm Kate, Cook with Kate, live streaming every day at midday, all the way through the lockdown. However long the lockdown takes, I'll be here live streaming. Today is dedicated to everyone who has friends and families who are ill. I have 2 friends who've got who are feeling really poorly, and I have a brother who's just broken his shoulder in 2 places, having gone off on the bike with his son for a quick bike ride, and came off the path for some reason. I'm not quite sure. We will find out more later because I've just found out. Please share these recipes. We've got Felicity Broom. The Spanish for pomegranate is Granada, and the city of that name is named because they are native there, and they were the symbol of Catherine of Aragon, who married Henry VIII. Of course, Granada was her home city. Ah, good fact. I like it. Thank you, Felicity. And of course, in France, you have that delicious juice called grenadine, which is pomegranate juice as well. So that's the word that's used. French for, I can't think what French for pomegranate is, grenade, something like that. So the same. That's interesting. Thank you, Felicity. Have you enjoyed the recipe? Are you going to try it at home? Really nice. Hope you do. What was I saying? Talking about breakfast and that's right. My brother who's just come off his bike. We'll find out more later. So please share these live streams. I would love it if we've had the most amazing response so far. We've had page views up 764%, follows up 800%. So it's really fantastic. We've had some great comments like, it's fantastic to see you doing this in a normal kitchen, much more realistic than Jamie. Good. Well, his videos do look amazing, but I think he must be in lockdown with his videographer, because I don't understand how he can do them himself. And yeah, a lady who's been locked down for 3 weeks already as one of the vulnerable. Une grenade in French. Thank you very much, Mark. So that chicken is going to cook now for about 45 minutes, but keep checking on it because depends on the size that you cook the vegetables, it depends on the type of chicken that you're using, and if you're not using chicken at all, it will cook probably a little bit quicker and you can turn the heat up a bit more. If you're finding that the vegetables aren't cooking, just be a little bit patient and give it a bit longer, because the point is that everything's a little bit caramelized. I'll show you the picture on the feed when it's done. And then I'm going to sprinkle it with pomegranate and basil, maybe a little bit more spice as well once we've tasted it. We'll be back tomorrow with a chili, black bean and chorizo chili, I think. And then Friday's recipe is Curry Friday. We're going to do salmon and sagaloo, so delicious potato and spinach curry. Really, really, really appreciate you coming on the feed, and please share, and we'll see you tomorrow.